on the night. They will race for 20 laps. These are the riders who started with the heat races, the semis, the quarterfinals, and a couple in the last chance race. And Mike Bell, who are a couple of these riders to look for?
Well, Jeff Ward looks very good coming into the final after winning his heat in the semi. Ricky Johnson also looking very strong, one of the only riders we've seen to be able to come through the pack.
Not to mention Johnny O'Mara, Billy Lyles, David Bailey. There's just a bunch of good ones. As a matter of fact, the top 20 riders on the night now just moments away from the starting gate dropping for the championship main event, and they're off. It's a good, clean start. Let's see who gets the hole shot. The man who takes the lead, a key move here in this race. Brock Lever, number 3, having some trouble. Number 4, getting out to the lead, is Jeff Ward, and it is number 19, Goat Brecker, in second place. There's a view from our camera, mounted on the landing side of Finish Line Mountain, to give you a unique view of this course here at Atlanta Stadium, and a good view here from our camera to show you the course for the championship main event. So the first place rider is number 4, Jeff Ward.
The start is really important for these finals too, Bob, to get out there and try to set the pace and let everybody try to catch up to you. What Jeff's going to try to do is pull away and hopefully make enough distance that some of the other riders are back in the pack, and hopefully he can get away from them.
Number 5 is Johnny O'Mara. Number 2, Mark Barnett. They're right behind Goat Brecker as we're in the first couple of laps here. There's your leader, Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward from Mission Viejo, California, only 5'6". He leads in the point standings after 3 events coming into this one, and is now out to a lead in the championship main event. And there's that terrific camera view. There's your leader, Jeff Ward. Second place is Brecker. In third place, O'Mara. Fourth place, Mark Barnett. In fifth place is David Bailey. And what a view from Finish Line Mountain as the 20 riders come across the top. Over 40,000 at Atlanta Stadium. There's the leader, Jeff Ward. From Mission Viejo, California, Team Kawasaki. He leads in the point standings. Number 19 is Brecker in second place. Here comes Bob Hanna. Hanna now back down around 7th or 8th place at the moment. Number 17, Ricky Johnson, coming up right behind Bob Hanna. Johnson gets past him there to move into 7th place. And Bob Hanna, Hurricane Bob Hanna, a former winner here at Atlanta, now in 8th place early on here in the championship event at Atlanta Stadium.
Johnson really seems to be one of the only riders that's able to pass. Most of the riders just seem to be sitting in the groove and circulating, and Johnson's going out there and passing.
Ricky Johnson's been successful that all night.
Yeah, he has. He looked real good in his heat race.
So Johnson riding strong, coming from behind, now in 7th place. Your leader continues to be Jeff Ward. Goat Brecker is in 2nd place. And there's Jeff Ward. A good view of the rest of the pack now. 19 is Brecker, 5 O'Mara, 2 Mark Barnett, and there is number 1 David Bailey. Back to our leader, Jeff Ward, number 4.
Jeff really looks like he's in control. Oh, he's having a little trouble there in the berm, and the berms are really soft, and I think that some of the other riders are probably going to have a little trouble with him tonight too.
And you just saw number 17 Johnson trying to get past Lyles there. Johnson is in 6th place now, coming up from way back in the pack. The leader continues to be Jeff Ward, number 4. Jeff Ward was 4th in the '83 Supercross and leads this series, as we told you. Born in Scotland, but raised here in the United States. Only 5'6".
Yeah, he's probably the smallest rider on the circuit. Get a good view of him going over these jumps, though. They try to, the same theory as in skiing, they really don't want to get in the air too much. They want to stay low and get that wheel on the ground so they get that traction and keep that forward momentum.
Jeff Ward right now riding in control and smoothly and has a substantial lead, although Johnny O'Mara is now closed in just behind his rear wheel, and O'Mara is coming on strong.
Yeah, Johnny's gonna...
Oh my, that's Goat Brecker who went down, number 19. Goat Brecker lost control and hit the hay bale.
Gosh, it looked like he came in here good, and he hits this one bump, and it just throws his weight forward. There you can see his weight going over the handlebars, and the seat hits him in the rear and just throws him up over the bars, and he loses control and throws him right down. It's like he went down pretty hard too.
Goat Brecker seems to be at least slightly injured. You see his hands there on the right side of his ribs. May have his ribs hard on the ground. Goat Brecker is out. I doubt we'll see him return. Here's our leader, number 4, Jeff Ward. In the first half of the championship main event, 20 laps. Jeff Ward continues to be in the lead.
We'll see if Goat Brecker going out is going to have any effect of Johnny O'Mara being able to close the gap on Ward now. There's nobody in his way.
Johnny O'Mara was applying a lot of pressure to Brecker when Brecker went down back on the moguls. Number 5 O'Mara, you see, is relatively close to our leader Jeff Ward. There's Ricky Johnson coming behind David Bailey. 17 here is Ricky Johnson, who had a come from behind race earlier tonight.
He's got a lot farther to go this time. Ward's already stretching out a pretty good lead.
Number 12, there's Billy Lyles, who is now in 6th place. Jeff Ward riding strong consistently and seems to be maintaining his line around this course with relative ease. Once again, having some trouble with that soft berm.
Yeah, those berms are really soft, and it tends to take the wheel right out of your hand. It grabs the front tire and almost steers it away from you.
Good view of the distance there between 1st and 2nd place. In 2nd place right now is Johnny O'Mara. Johnny O'Mara is 22 from Simi Valley, California, member of Team Honda. They call him the Johnny O Show, and he's always a tough competitor, particularly if he gets up in the top 2 or 3.
Yeah, all these riders in the top 5 right now are all very evenly matched.
Here comes that charge by Ricky Johnson. Johnson right now trying to trace down David Bailey. Our leader, Jeff Ward, number 4. And remaining in 2nd place is Johnny O'Mara. There's our 3rd place rider, Mark Barnett. It is Ward, O'Mara, Barnett, Bailey, and Johnson at this point.
It looks like Johnny's closed a little bit more ground on him this lap, too. He's really putting on a good charge.
Johnny O'Mara, the 1983 125cc outdoor champion, says he's mentally prepared to win a national championship this year. Look how close it's getting. Ward and O'Mara in 1st and 2nd place. Championship event action from Atlanta Fulton County Stadium in the 1984 Super Bowl of motocross.
He's definitely closing on him a lot. He's putting himself in a position to make a pass.
And here comes Bailey putting some pressure on Mark Barnett. That's David Bailey and Mark Barnett in battle back there for 3rd place. You're looking at 1st and 2nd, which has a battle of its own going on now. And there's Barnett and Bailey, and now it's O'Mara who's taken the lead in this race. Johnny O'Mara just passed Jeff Ward and has the lead. He's in 1st place.
It looked like Ward had a little bit of trouble with that berm and wasn't able to make the double jumps, and O'Mara just slipped right by him.
And another battle happening for 3rd place right behind these two fellas. There's the battle for 3rd place. David Bailey's number 1. Number 2 is Mark Barnett. And that one seems to be closing.
Yeah, Bailey's been riding really smooth and very strong tonight.
Cross finish line mountain. Bailey seems to be gaining just a little bit on Mark Barnett. David Bailey, 23, 6'2", from Axton, Virginia. Call him the little professor. He's a member of Team Honda. Now he's closing a little more on Mark Barnett.
Dave also closed a lot of ground on Ward. They're just right up behind him now.
So it's O'Mara and Ward, Barnett and Bailey. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ricky Johnson trying to pursue those 4. Getting closer with Barnett and Bailey to battle for 3rd place.
Bailey's trying him on the outside. Just slips around him. That was a great move.
So Bailey's moved into 3rd place, and he's applying pressure now to Jeff Ward in 2nd place. We've got ourselves a terrific and exciting close race here in the championship main event from Atlanta Stadium. Right now, O'Mara continues to lead. Number 5, the Johnny O Show. But O'Mara better not be comfortable with that lead. He's going to continue to contend with Ward and Bailey and Barnett, not to mention the charge that's happening right now from number 17, Ricky Johnson, who is in 5th place. I have a feeling we're going to have an exciting finish in the 1984 Atlanta Super Bowl of motocross. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Very different body styles of these two riders. Mark Barnett's just a little fellow at 5'7". On the other hand, Ricky Johnson is kind of like my partner Mike Bell here. He's a tall one at 6'1". Does that make any difference in the way they ride those bikes, Mike?
Well, yeah, it gives Ricky a little bit of an advantage through the bumps because it actually, having the longer legs, gives him a little bit more suspension.
So there's your battle between 3rd and 4th place, Barnett and Johnson. And I noticed that Barnett is maintaining a true line. Johnson zigzagging just a bit. Here comes your leader, number 5, Johnny O'Mara, maintaining the pace and his distance. But back to that battle between 3rd and 4th place, that line being maintained by Barnett, Johnson zigging around a bit.
Johnson's trying everything he can think of to get around Mark. He's really trying to push him to make a mistake or just try to get around him any way he can.
And I think if you'll check into your picture just going right to the left side there, you see that Barnett and Johnson are also closing in on the second place rider, Jeff Ward, as they head into this mogul area here. And a little bit of trouble of Ricky Johnson, who's trying to let it all hang out. There is your leader, number 5, Johnny O'Mara, Team Honda. More than 40,000 here. Oh my, that's John Welchel, who has crashed into the hay bales, number 64. He seems to be okay, and I think is even going to try to get back in the race, but in terms of finishing high enough to be satisfied, we'll have to consider himself just about out of it. Right now, Johnson, Barnett, Jeff Ward, those are the racers in second, third, and fourth place. Heading into those moguls there is Ricky Johnson pushing it pretty hard.
The pace has really picked up quite a bit with Johnson and Barnett going. They've really closed up on Ward.
Seems as if every time Ricky Johnson, just about as in right there, catches Mark Barnett, Barnett gets on the gas a little bit. So that's quite a battle we have. O'Mara maintains his lead, and Ward stays in second place. Barnett and Johnson now battling. Bailey is still in fifth place despite the fact that he went down. There goes number 17, Ricky Johnson, heading into those moguls. And having a little bit of a problem with, oh my, almost lost it. Nice save by Ricky Johnson, and seems to be back in control now, but that's going to throw him off a bit in his effort to catch Mark Barnett.
It looks like he comes into him pretty good, and he just starts to lose his rhythm, and the bike starts kicking him around, and he does a nice job of saving it here. You can tell it throws off his rhythm a little bit, and he just about comes to a stop right here. You can see the spokes just about come to a stop, and he does a really nice job of keeping going here.
Mike Bell, that really impresses me about the athletic ability to be able to maintain control of that bike. I know you've been in similar situations. And speaking of control, here's the man who's in control of the race right now going into the final lap. That is Johnny O'Mara. He has one more lap to go, and unless something very unusual happens, I think that's the man we're going to see in victory lane.
Yeah, I think so. He's looking really strong and real consistent. Like you said, something really strange is going to happen for Johnny not to win.
Team Honda is going to be very pleased with the performance of this young man. He did not win either his heat or his semi. He finished second in both, but has maintained the lead here since passing Jeff Ward a little bit earlier. Now approaching the final lap and the finish line. Probably be seeing that checkered flag for number 5, Johnny O'Mara, any moment now. So let's enjoy the final few hundred yards with Johnny O'Mara here as he heads for victory lane. As something very unusual happens, the crowd really getting behind him. The Johnny O Show heading toward that checkered flag. And there's your winner of the 1984 Atlanta Super Bowl of motocross. And just as that happened, Mark Barnett moved into second place ahead of Jeff Ward. Johnny O'Mara with the win, is second on the young season. There's his mechanic, Jim Felt, offering the congratulations. Johnny O'Mara, our winner. In second place, Mark Barnett. Third place, Jeff Ward, followed by Ricky Johnson and David Bailey. Now let's go trackside to Mike Bell with our winner, Johnny O'Mara.
Well, Johnny, how did it feel?
I tell you, I feel so good inside right now. It's, you know, it's just about like how I felt at Anaheim when I won earlier this year. I can't believe I won another one.
You took advantage of a little mistake that Ward made, and he couldn't do the double jumps, and you were right there.
Yeah, I seen that he kind of was bobbling a little bit, and he went wide, and I figured he wasn't going to do it, so I cut to the inside, so I made sure I cleared him so I didn't, you know, clip his bars or something like that.
So this ought to put you in pretty good shape, bringing you pretty close back to Wardy for the points, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm right in there. You know, winning the main gains 5 points over the other guys, and I guess Barnett passed Ward, so that helped me out a little bit. So we're real close.
All right, well, great job, John. You did a really, really nice ride.
Thanks, Mike.